Hey guys, welcome back. It's Grimreaper coming at you for another video of Raidshadowlegends. Hopefully you're doing well, and hopefully you're looking after yourselves, and hopefully having a fantastic start to the week wherever you are in the world, and hopefully you're looking after yourselves and having a positive week. So we're back on my account today. I want to talk about underrated champion and do another guide on her, seeing that we get her for free inside this game, and we're also getting a free blessing for her as a 5-star, so that will be Alice and the Wonderland. And I wanted to showcase my build today, which we're going to be using for her, and we'll look at some interesting stuff that we can change in the future and kind of show you the max stats. I haven't finished everything on her yet, but I will be trying to use her in the arena over some fights. I think there will be a couple of fights where the skill would be very useful. And again, if you're looking for like a free to play team, which I won't be showcasing today, I have actually did a video on her before any relics or blessings added onto her for the video. I will ping that up here, and also will put it in the description. We also talk about speed tune in as well in that team, and how to get the optimized damage out of her for arena. So we have already covered that already, and I wanted to showcase my build on her today, which will be staying on her, and the reason why we got this. Now, her role in my team is very simple. Her role is to be a damage dealer, not to be a lockout champion. If we can lock out nukers as well, that's going to be a bonus. I do see some utility for her for like purposes of like siege as well, which could be quite useful as other options as well. I guess for siege, maybe a lockout could be usable, but if we can lock out nukers, that can be perfectly fine with me. So let's go ahead and let's get her ready in the optimizer, and we'll talk about a couple of stats that I would like to see a bit different. Okay, so these are the stats that we're looking at. This would be the ideal stats for me for the full build. So the full build would be coming in at 6,376 accuracy. Sorry, attack. Accuracy, that would be crazy. 276 speed, 269 accuracy, and then 229 critical damage. These are the stats that we were trying to take the gear from. So we want attack main stat here, speed ascension on the boots, and then we have the critical damage gloves here as well with critical damage ascension. And then this is what we're looking to do along the top row with attack extension here. And so on the optimizer, we added the 4 speed and then the 6 attack to kind of work out this build. And then we went for the ascension, we went for a bit more better options. So we went for current stats along the top. You could select attack again along the top. And then for ascension, we went for critical damage with critical damage gloves, attack percentage here with attack percentage here, and then speed or attack gloves, and then everything else we left as so on the bottom as well. So when we was building her in the optimizer, that's what we was looking at for that, and it's pretty useful. So let's go take her into arena and let's have a look in the arena. Okay, so we are in the arena. We're going to look again a couple of teams that we can try her out on. Now, she will be okay against some mythicals, depending on the mythicals. So, you know, you won't be using her against, like, Commodus, for example. Commodus isn't very good. Commodus is very good against lockouts, for example. So that would be one thing that you wouldn't want to do there. But we can definitely take on a few of these teams. So we have, like, a lockout team here, for example. Let me go ahead and get rid of this team. This pay to win filthy team, and let's play a team that I would probably suggest in this. Now we'll talk about lockout champions in a bit for sure. So for example, everyone's got Arbiter, Speed Lead with Tin Presence, Mastery, which is great. I'm actually going to use Sifi because Sifi is my fastest champion on my account. A lot of you guys will have Arbiter as your fastest. That is one thing that I would look into. This can be replaced with another 10-meter boost as well. I would always recommend using 2 10-meter boosts in Classic Arena because it's easier to speed tune with 2 than it is with 1. You don't have to worry about picks and bans, etc. Then we're going to worry about a lockout champion, which they will be using a Warlord. There is plenty of lockout champions in this game, so please don't sit here and have a fit because I'm going to use a Warlord for today's video. It is about using a lockout champion to increase her damage so she can do her job as a nuker overall. There's plenty of epic options and other legendary options for sure, and you can use as the replacement. I'm actually looking for Alice right now, and she's all the way down the back. So we have Lightning Cage because we're running a 4-piece stone skin build, which you guys would have seen. You can use Lethal, and you can also use Savage as well. Now, the reason why we're using Lockout is because it's very, very useful against increasing her damage, and it's really, really increaseful against enemies. Now, the Siphi is probably going to be, sorry, the Duchess will probably be high resistance, so we'll probably get resisted on the Lockout. And also, we have to be very careful against Hefrek's passive. It will get us killed. So, we're going to wait for the Stone Skin to break, or we'll wait for the stone skin to what's the word I'm looking for, to use its ability, or take its turn. So I actually broke the stone skin there on the E1, which was pretty surprising. I didn't know she can do that. I'll be straight up honest, I did not know she can do that, but it does increase her damage on the second ability. So everyone's locked out anyway. I think maybe Duchess is not, but that's about it. So we don't have to worry about them reviving at the moment. We can go ahead and do the AoE now, which is pretty useful. Okay, I think Dutch is actually locked out, which is pretty nice. We will do the one here. Oh, we got polymorph, lovely, jubbly. There, we'll play the sleep and probably get polymorphed again. Always happens inside the videos. You can see here, because we killed, we reset all the way through, which is great. I'm actually going to do the A1 here because we ignore defense, and then we get surplus damage to finish off the enemy here. So really solid nuker on that terms. Now I will talk about lockout champions a bit later on in the video. This team is way too easy for me to be showcasing against. This one's going to be difficult because there's Temple of Chains here, which counts as my Siphi. And again, I wouldn't recommend using Lockout like Warlord, anything against a Commodus, because he can just flip and do his beautiful work. I have a Commodus. I really love the champion. One of my favorite mythicals in the game, and probably my strongest mythical on my account when it comes to this purpose of his role. Potentially we can kill the whole team before he gets a turn. So let's see. I guess he's going to take his turn. We've got block buffs anyway to protect us, so we don't need to worry about that too much. If this was live arena, though, definitely don't do this because they can use the first one to strip, right? So it doesn't make any sense to do it. And then you can see here we're going to go straight out 157,000 damage on a Commodus. Now Commodus is very tanky. He's HP based, so he's a good showcase. Again, Taurus and Marishka will just can't attack you to death, so that is not a smart play. Template Chains kind of puts me off there because of the Siphi, and then potentially he's faster as well. I can beat this team, not with the team that we're showcasing today. Knockout is a really good player. So Catrixia is also a counter to you. Okay, so we got Narcissus. Wait, is this guy? Yep. No, hold on. Which one is it? This guy? Yeah, okay. Well, we can try this. So he's probably got high resistance here. He's got Lockout here, and then we've got Sigford as well. Now, Sigford is going to be really interesting because Sigford is kind of like really bad against Lockout and can cause him a issue because it just stops him from nuking. Saying that, his cooldowns are quite low, so it really depends on the build that you're trying to kind of look at. So I don't want to proc his passive. This will hit the lowest HP, which will probably be Sigford. I think we can probably kill that one Narcissus if there's no reaction. Okay, so we set that off. It's fine. We'll sleep in there. Sorry, Queen Ancora kind of does that already. Alright, so you can see there that she actually stripped off the block damage on the E1 from a counter attack, I guess, which is great. That's amazing, right? Sigford is like really good nuker. I can't sleep and I keep forgetting Queen and Coriza. And then he's on cooldown, so we can go ahead and do the AoE nuke. We don't kill her, but that's perfectly fine. Then we just do the increased speed with the A1. she's gonna do her stuff against the stone skin. She ain't great against stone skin, but you can see that with the lockouts there is some potential. Now with this one here, ideally you want to try and get a kill so you can get the surplus like that, and then we can just drop the evil eye back like so. Evil eye is so good on characters, just don't do it to Marius, will you? Because you will be suffering there. So you can see here, really solid team. Okay, not the highest blessings in the world, but it's a really meta team and meta champions. And then we can see Alice doing some work in there with Warlord synergy, really, really strong. Nice is a someone I'd avoid. We have Catrixia, which counters lockouts in some sense. We have a Star Sage who also counters lockout. It's quite tough. We're quite fairly high, so it's like trying to showcase this in a positive way. And obviously, you can make this a lot better as well by being faster. And you can use the picks and bans to so Cardio is a counter to speed teams. In Harmony is not good against this. We have a Taurus here. As long as we're faster, we should win. We also got tablet chains on Armads, which will try and catch us out with that. So we can come in with the we are I think we are slower, which is fine. Oh, we get feared anyway. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, so we just get pommeled because we got feared. And I was trying to play the A1. If you're slower, you're slower, right? Don't worry, don't get upset if you're slower. It's not really a problem for yourself. It's more of a just about the game in general. Okay, we've got Rhodas here, which is really good. We have a UDK, which is a bit of a problem for her. And someone would be put me off with a self revive. Let's have a look along the top. What else could we take? We could take this warlord, for example. We should be faster because of the Tim presence, but he's also got the 6-star template chains. Template chains, be careful on, right, when you're using Sifi for sure. So we can use this. He didn't cut in on me, which is great. So we can go ahead and do that. Mm-mm-mm. And then we can take out the champion. So we take out Warlord first. I'm going to use the A3 there. He breaks the stone skin on Carnage. And you can see that we haven't even got like crazy stats compared to what I can put on her. If I put stronger gear on her, like she can do way more damage. So she actually isn't that bad against stone skin. I'm really surprised, even myself. And yeah, I think that's really, really strong. We can play this ability. We get a couple of lockouts anyway against the nukers. And then again, because we're faster in this style of team, and speed team is what you want to be using her in. That's her strength. I wouldn't be using her in Go Second. Unless you was going to use her as like a lockout champion, and that's a different conversation for a different day. I could do a video on that if you guys want me to cover it. I don't mind too much. We're gonna get lockout there, and then play that there. 102k damage against that. It's a pretty well-known clan as well. She'd be really solid against Rhodas. Like this Rhodas is not the bestly built because it shouldn't have Kraken roots at level 3. Should be Fallen Wrath, really. So this guy is not the most knowledgeable person in the world, which is fine. That's not awful. So we have the one ability here. So you're going to do A1 because it'll kill the Rhodas. Just be careful with the what's it called? Aspect of Sirith, which is a cancer relic on Rhodas. It would counter her A1. And then we can look into finishing this team off in a second. There we are, night night. And we also got the cooldowns as well. Bear in mind, we're not using. You could use an increased accuracy champion as well, like Lady M, for example, who would also go very well with the ally attack and offer a bit more utility. Also, free champion as well. I do like this A2 though, it's very, very nice. And then we could potentially take on this style of team. We do have Catrixia, which is a little bit of a problem for my Warlord. depending. If he's faster, we lose anyway. So it's not too bad if we lose. She had a really good synergy with Catrixia, honestly, with the lockout. It does need to be lockout, like Yumacone and all them sorts of teams. She can come in now and reset. The damage dealer's dead, the revive is dead. Even if they do a reset here, it's not a problem, to be honest. It's game over for them. So this is a case of cleaning up, and she's going to do that now. I think the A3 hits really hard as well. Definitely get that damage up with relics, etc. So we have this one here, which I don't think I face. The only thing that worries me here is the Catrixia, right? Because Marissa would be really good against most nukers. It's extremely hard as well. And it, don't use Warlord against Marius. Kind of says that. Oh, well, we just got template change, just fucked me over anyway. Template chain just killed me because it cut in. I forgot he had template chains. Template chains is so lethal. So we survived against the stone skin there. That's why you want the stone skin with the lightning cage. Really, really useful. Funny enough, we have all our skills. So we must have weak hit against the Catrixia. So she does have some options against Catrixia with the weak hits. I might try to do a platinum push with her. See, I could try and see if I can finish a platinum push with her. It could be quite funny, right? Like using her for platinum push. I mean, if a champion gets you a platinum push finish, there's not much you can really say of that. I have got really good gear, so that is useful. But we could try that. Run a team-ish to work. Okay, so we'll save the AoE. We'll take out 1, 2 like that. We need to wait for the stone skin, like so, and wait for this. I think she's a good champion. I mean, we took on some really good teams. I wouldn't say Maris is any joke either. She didn't do anything against the stone skin there. That's fine. I mean, I don't think there's any more to say. I don't think our gear is god tier, to be honest. There's definitely a lot of work there. I'll show you the build in a second. Now, you saw the build there, but I didn't actually do any of the ascensions, so the build is not even like finished completely. So it's one of them ones. Our mads is kind of going to come up and break us. Now, if you've got our mads, you could potentially run something similar, and then we can try something like this, like so. Anyway, let me go take a look. Well, let me showcase her build. I'm going to talk about her build, and I'll show you all the stats as well. Okay, so this is the build that we're using. We got 4-piece lethal, 4-piece stone skin. That's what you want to see for a arena build. For relics, we're actually just using Unholy Grail because it's the only one I've got sitting around for some extra attack. It's pretty useful. I actually want to do elixir of gold elixir just for some extra heals and stuff. Because it's one I'm sitting around. But as you can see here, I'm pretty dry on resources, so I wasn't able to put any of the better relics on as well. Which is one of them ones. I do have Cat of Gaze. I wasn't going to put on. This is like the backup version for Marius for Chimera, so I wasn't going to put that on because it's very expensive to remove. And obviously, I'm not going to get a lot of these resources. I think you only get like 1,000 or something like that a week. So that's one of the ones that I really need to relax with this. So yeah, let me talk about the stats then. So stats, we got 262 speed. I want 275 speed minimum. So what we can see here on the build, which is the exact same build that we researched, we can see that this is what we want to see on stats. Sorry, this is the savage build that I ran. That is not the correct build. Let me get you the correct build that we were looking at. Where was it? Optimize. Sorry, it was the second one. This is the ones that we want. So this is the one we wanted. So the attack should be at 6,300, 290 critical damage. The accuracy drops a little bit by 12 once we sort that out. And then the speed should be 276 speed on the build. I want it fairly fast, like 275 is like minimum for my builds these days. So attack is coming in at 6,200. Speed is needs to be increased, and the critical damage needs to be increased a little bit from the ascension, and then accuracy will drop just slightly as well. Like accuracy is not something I'm worried about, so we want attack substats here. Obviously, we got the 2 substats that we want there. Want speed in the future there, which will really help the build, and attack there, and critical damage here, which is be something that I'll work on. Probably work on it a little bit more after the Queen event, right? The Queen event is the way to go for that. And then I've just put in Holy Grail for now because it's way cheaper to remove than a legendary and extra attack and stuff. Then we got a little bit of a increased accuracy as well for each debuff on them. So you can use like armads or something to increase that. Accuracy slightly. Everything's fully booked. Lightning Cage for Blessing for myself because we use a stone skin. If you could use reaction as well, like if you go reaction, then I would probably recommend taking Intimate Presence. Level 5 if you're struggling for a strong Timid Presence, level 5 in your team. And if you're going to use her for a consistency, that's the only way I'd take Intimate Presence though, is if you didn't have like 2 level 5s already, because it's not really that great on her. You could take Timber Chains if you build her as more as a lockout champion, but you would need to be quite fast and you need a total build altogether. And then after that, Life Harvest, which is a great blessing for Live Arena, especially for them fights that prolong itself longer. This would be a really solid lesson for her because you're going to get a extra 20% turn meter fill, which is like Arbiter ability on that. And then Polymorph is okay, but in speed team, we're not really relying on Polymorph. And then I guess for if you wanted one for the damage, like the best one for damage would be Soul Reap or Heaven Cast. Like Heaven Cast for me for damage would be like the top one, depending on how many buffs you put on yourself. For me, the best 2 blessings for her would be Lightning Cage for the Stone Skin or Heaven Cast. But there's all of these have their options, or Life Harvest as well, which would be my personal choice if I wasn't running Stone Skin because I like Life Harvest for the fights. So for masteries, then obviously we've got their counter attack ability for the free hitter, which is great on the E1. Cycle of Violence really key to circulate through them rotations more. So that's be something that you really, really want to work on. It's a really key mastery. So he doesn't ignore shield to make sure you take the shield breaker. Bolster has been sneaking back into the fights lately. So make sure that's something you look at. And then you could also take, you could take House Basher there, and you could also take Optimus for the if you're using Armads a lot, you could use Optimus instead of this mastery to increase damage throughout the whole fight. You could say that that one's pretty questionable as well, and then everything else is just for damage, I guess, for that. You could also go support tree if you wanted a little bit more accuracy as well, but personally I think it's a bit of waste because you only benefit from like 10 accuracy really, so it's one of the ones. And I guess that's it for today's video. I won't be making any more videos on Alice, I don't think. Maybe we'll make one more as like a lockout champion. I guess I did forget to mention some like lockout options. So obviously Lazarius would work well with her with lockout ability. You've got Blood Gorge with a lockout ability. You have Yumiko and Catrixia, which I don't own. And then you have Basha as well, who I did use in Siege. You also got a Milika, who is a great nuker as well, who is a epic that you can use. Am I missing any lockout champions? I think we're missing still another 2. Oh yeah, we actually have the duo as well, which is also Sacred Order. The fusion ones, right? So you could also use them as well. I think it's this one, right? Here's the lockout. Yeah, attacks all enemies, puts the skills on lockout, so you could also use him. They have great synergy. I think, to be honest, I don't own him, obviously, but like these 3 could have really good synergy together. That could be quite lethal for sure. That might be something you want to try. That could be quite fun. There is affinities, etc. You need to worry about. There is, I think, 2 more lockout champions that I'm not thinking of right now. Once I think of them, I'll put it in the comments in the below. And I guess that's it for today's video. Hopefully I didn't talk about too much. And hopefully I was keeping it short and sweet. Trying to improve it on that area. And then as usual, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Both Go and Grim. I appreciate you watching to the end. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.